My online boyfriend dumped me after we met in person. I met my boyfriend, now ex, through a Discord server at the beginning of February. We slowly started DMing. Then we switched to one-on-one calls, and the conversations got so deep and personal. After a few weeks, we were DMing or in a call 24/7. We clicked so easily and seamlessly. We developed feelings before even sharing photos, and then after sharing photos and realizing there was an attraction, we started frequent phone sex. About a month and a half later, we became an official couple, said I love you, shared that we thought we were soulmates, and made plans for the future like me moving in with him, marriage, etc. We did everything together, sleeping, chores, errands, showering, working. We talked so much and learned everything about each other. I have never been so compatible and in tune with anyone in my life. We used so many words of affirmation, validating each other's emotions and showering each other with compliments. It was fast, but this was just one of those intense, deep, strong connections where emotions developed immediately. We discussed a lot about past trauma, and were so loving and supportive of each other. Any minor issues were met with the healthiest communication, understanding, and dedication to finding a solution. This relationship trajectory continued over the next 7 months. I moved about 30 minutes away from him, so we decided to finally meet. The plan was for him to spend the weekend at my place. Fry through sun. Fry night rolls around. I shave everywhere, slather myself in lotion, put on a cute dress, do my makeup, do my hair. I'm nervous as hell, feeling scared he will be disappointed in how I look when he meets me because I struggle with low self-esteem. Have been in therapy for years about this and he knows. But I think my face looks pretty and my tits look great. He calls to say that he's here outside my front door. I open the front door, so scared. He immediately breaks into a big smile, grabs me and pulls me in close with his arms around my neck and kisses me. I am startled for a moment because I wasn't expecting him to immediately kiss me, so the first kiss is kind of an awkward angle. I move my head back a smidge, then lean forward again to kiss him properly. To me, this second kiss feels perfect. It feels natural and like our lips were meant to fit together. After this second kiss, he hugs me super tight, squeezing me like he doesn't want to let me go, and whispers in my ear that my lips are as soft as he imagined. We go inside to put his stuff in my bedroom. He again pulls me close, is looking me straight in my eyes, and is telling me that I am so beautiful, so pretty, and that he loves me so much. He starts kissing me again, and he gets very passionate with it, pushing me backwards onto the bed. While we are making out with him on top of me, he starts running his hand up my leg, across my butt, and then starts to put his hand inside my panties. I am insanely nervous and still self-conscious, and I ask him if he can take things a bit slower until I feel more comfortable. I tell him how nervous I am, and he says I don't need to worry and he will make me feel less nervous. We go out to eat, then we cuddle up on the couch watching a movie. While cuddling, he is smelling my hair, telling me that I smell so amazing. I tell him it's probably my shampoo, and he says that no, it's just me, my smell, and he loves it. While I lay my head on his chest, he plays with my hair, runs his fingers down my ear and neck, kisses my head, interlaces his fingers with mine. Halfway through the movie, he grabs my jaw and turns my face to him and begins kissing me passionately. He starts kissing down my neck, giving me hickeys on my neck and collarbone. He pulls the top of my dress down to kiss, lick all over my chest. I'm very into this, so I climb onto his lap, straddling him, pushing my hands against his chest, and making out with him passionately. I start grinding against his lap, and we start breathing heavily. I suggest we go in the bedroom, so we lie down on the bed, and he resumes making out with me, kissing me very hard and intensely, mashing his body against mine. He's breathing really heavily, grabbing and slapping my butt and telling me how much he loves my butt. I start grinding against him again while making out and moaning a bit. He asks if he can feel how wet I am, and I say yes. We have sex. He seems very into it. I know I am. I am moaning loudly. He's very turned on by my moans. He keeps telling me that he wants to make me orgasm. Afterwards, we hold each other, our foreheads pressed against each other, saying how much we love each other. He tells me my skin is so smooth while he runs his fingers down my side. He kisses my cheeks and says my face is so soft. He kisses my nose and says I have the cutest nose. He kisses my eyelids and says I have the prettiest eyes. We get up to brush our teeth. Then he spoons me in bed while kissing my shoulder and grabbing my chest, and I wiggle deep down up against him so our bodies couldn't be closer. We fall asleep like this, and I'm so happy and peaceful in that moment. Then everything changes? He can't really sleep because of noises, heat, etc. He tosses and turns a lot, then decides at 6 a.m. that he needs to go back to his house to sleep because he's exhausted and can't sleep at my place. He seems agitated and cranky, says sorry, but he won't be pleasant to be around when he's sleep-deprived. Then he hurriedly dresses and packs his things up. I am confused and quiet. He quickly kisses me bye and says he loves me as he rushes out the door. This is the last time I ever see him. Then for the next 3 days, he barely responds to my texts. He tells me that he has this crazy stomach virus with intense stomach pain that keeps him up, so he's exhausted and miserable. I'm so worried about him. I offer to bring him meds, Gatorade, etc., and he declines. On the 3rd day of very limited contact, I start to get this sinking feeling that he's avoiding me. Finally, Monday night, he calls to break up with me. He says, I didn't feel any romantic chemistry, and I think you probably feel the same way too. I say, no, I don't feel the same. I absolutely felt romantic chemistry and have felt it for the entirety of our relationship. Then he says, well, I immediately didn't feel any spark when we first kissed at your front door. When I hear this, I become very confused and flabbergasted. I ask, why did you constantly initiate kissing me, constantly hug me, constantly hold and squeeze me tight, constantly breathe me in while holding me, constantly kiss me softly while saying you love me and that I'm so beautiful and pretty, constantly hold my hand, constantly cuddle me, constantly stroke my hair and run your fingers down my arms, constantly press your forehead against mine and tell me how happy you were, that we were finally together in person, constantly initiate sexual contact, parsex, spoon me to sleep, etc. If you felt no spark or chemistry from the start, and then he sputtered, I felt fine Friday night. I was basically comatose all day Saturday from the stomach pain. So I didn't realize until I woke up on Sunday morning that there was no romantic chemistry. I was so blindsided and speechless during this call that it only lasted like 5 minutes because I couldn't process what he had said and had no idea what to say in response. He sounded very cold and emotionless like a robot. I was about to start crying, so I awkwardly said goodbye and ended the call. A few hours later, I sent him a text saying that I didn't have a chance to process and speak during the call earlier because I was in shock, but wanting to share that I was so hurt and blindsided by all of this, and that I thought we had chemistry, and that we were so compatible, and saying that I was not fully understanding what wrong. He never responded. I am so confused. I'm assuming when he says no spark or romantic chemistry, he means that he wasn't physically attracted to me in person. I sent him so many photos of myself, all recent, makeup and no makeup, cute dresses and also sweatshirts, different angles and lighting. We FaceTimed many times for hours, including when I was sick and grubby in pajamas. He always made me feel so beautiful and desired, including on the Friday night we met, when he used his words, tone of voice, facial expressions, body language, commenting on loving my scent and how my skin felt, how long and tight he kept holding me for, etc. All indicators I usually see as signs of chemistry. I can understand being disappointed with someone's appearance in person, but if it's to the point of not being attracted to them at all upon meeting, then you wouldn't be aggressively trying to kiss them, hold them, shower them with compliments, etc. If he had been honest on Friday night, had held off on physical touch after the first kiss when there was allegedly no spark, and then had the awkward and difficult conversation of telling me that he didn't feel a physical attraction, I would have been hurt and embarrassed, but I would have also understood and respected him for telling me that. However, instead, he went through this crazy charade of acting so convincingly in love and horny the entire night. I fell asleep Friday night thinking the night was perfect, and now that I've learned that he never felt a spark or any chemistry, I am horrified and feel like the whole night was a lie. I feel led on, deceived, manipulated, used. I feel like this man I met wasn't the man I fell in love with over the past 7 months. The man I fell in love with was open, honest, transparent, and his actions always matched his words. That man would have never done this to me. The man I met Friday night feels like an imposter wearing a skin suit. Even if his intentions for so aggressively pursuing physical contact Friday night were good, it doesn't matter because of the consequences. It doesn't change that it was cruel to me. He knew I struggled with self-esteem issues, and most importantly, he knew that I have a history of sexual trauma and have to take everything with sex very slowly, and only while in a loving, committed relationship. He knew all of this, and despite already knowing he didn't feel a spark or chemistry with me, he had sex with me anyway, and then dumped me. This feels like the ultimate selfish and disrespectful move with absolutely no regard for my emotions, my heart, or my mental state. I feel so betrayed and don't know how I will ever trust someone again when they tell me they love me, or that they think I'm beautiful, or that they think I'm sexy and want me. I will always be reminded of this man who put on an Oscar award-winning performance and then threw me away like old trash.